Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Paula Dagnan. A fire broke out this afternoon in the city of Pottsville, sending one person to the burn unit at Lehigh Valley Hospital, Cedar Crest. When fire crews arrived on location, they found heavy fire coming from the front and rear of the home. At first, crews were not sure if everyone was out of the home. At first, they weren't sure if everyone had gotten out okay. The Pottsville City Fire Chief said they were able to have everyone accounted for and bring the fire under control within 20 minutes.
The bulk of the fire, we're still in there getting some void areas, and we still got little fire spots here and there, that's all. There were 4 people that lived there. Red Cross is here. They'll take care of the other 3 people. Our firefighters did a heck of a job. There's a lot of fire, and we were limited on response during the day, so we did a heck of a job knocking it down.
Pottsville City fire crews, along with crews from Schuylkill Haven, were on the scene along with EMS. There was no word on a burn victim's condition tonight. Firefighters are investigating how the fire got its start today in Pottsville. The topic of arming teachers and staff with weapons brought out a large crowd last night in Tamaqua. WYLN's Julie Stefanovich has more on that meeting.
Residents packed into the cafeteria at the Tamaqua Area Middle School last night for a question and answer session about allowing teachers and staff to carry firearms. The school board adopted a policy last month that would allow faculty to be armed. The district is the first in the state to propose this type of policy. The Tamaqua Citizens for Safe Schools, along with others, gave presentations about alternatives to arming staff, such as hiring police, installing metal detectors, and conducting thorough screenings of school visitors.
We have not found one study, not one expert, who recommends arming teachers and staff as a preferred option.
Everyone in this room wants the same thing, including the board, including the administration. We all want our children to be safe, all of them.
Many students in attendance also voiced their concerns on having their teachers carry weapons.
Something definitely has to be done, but just arming teachers with a gun on their hip is not the answer.
The policy states that staff would volunteer for the duty and would be trained and work undercover. After the presentation was done, many people lined up to ask questions. Some were in favor of the policy, while many were opposed.
Why do we hire cafeteria workers if teachers can cook? They have their own things to do.
Without guns in school, it definitely allows somebody to walk through the front door, burst in, and do whatever they want.
And though the policy is currently being discussed, at this time, Pennsylvania state law does not allow for armed school personnel. Reporting for WYLN News, I'm Julie Stefanovich.
And a Wednesday night shooting left 13 people dead. It happened at a country dance bar in Southern California. The gunman opened fire at the Borderline Bar and Grill in Thousand Oaks shortly after 11 o'clock. The bar was holding a weekly college night when shots began to ring out. 11 people inside the bar were fatally shot, including a sheriff's sergeant who was first on the scene. And by the time police entered the business, the shooting had stopped and the gunman was also dead. There's no word at this time as to how the gunman died or what the motive was. Many others in the bar also sustained injuries while trying to flee from the shooting. Governor Tom Wolf is ordering Commonwealth flags at half-staff through sunset Saturday in honor of those killed. A Wilkes-Barre woman was taken to the hospital for treatment for a gunshot wound she said she sustained during a robbery Wednesday night. According to police, the 25-year-old victim told them she wasn't sure where exactly the robbery had taken place. She arrived at Wilkes-Barre General Hospital around 7 and had to have surgery. Her injuries were said to be non-life-threatening. The robbery still under investigation. The death of a one-day-old baby over the weekend in Luzerne County is now being investigated as a possible homicide. Investigators say a woman gave birth to a baby at a home in Union Township. She told police while the child was still alive, she placed the baby in grocery bags and a clear garbage bag, then put those bags in a burn pit and left. The mother was later found in Wilkes-Barre. So far, no charges have been filed. The investigation is ongoing. The father of former fugitive Sean Christie was in court answering to charges that he harassed a McAdoo police officer. Craig Christie admitted Wednesday to a Schuylkill County judge that he harassed a McAdoo police officer, Fred Lachowski, on October 5th of 2017. The 55-year-old pled guilty to harassment. The county judge did not immediately sentence Christie, instead ordering preparation of a pre-sentence investigation, saying he would schedule sentencing at a later date. This is the second case in which Christie was charged with harassment. The first was in March of 2017 when police say Christie assaulted then-Mayor Stephen Hawley. The Diocese of Scranton today announcing the creation of a independent survivors compensation program for those who have suffered sexual abuse by clergy, religious, or lay employees. Those victims that want to take part in the program, it can and it will be administered by Kenneth Feinberg and Camille Byros, two leading experts in mediation and alternative dispute resolution. The diocese will have no authority over this fund or the committee. Bishop Joseph Bambera said providing compensation to the survivors is the right thing to do. That program is expected to launch in January of next year. Officials in Hazleton want to borrow $1 million. Our Julia Wiegand has the details.
Hazleton City Council talked about borrowing money last night at their meeting. The amount just over $1 million to cover past deficits, as well as deficits moving forward. Each year brings a deficit. Councilman Jim Perry said that the money that Pell and the state gave the city was really only enough to get Hazleton through the year, but couldn't stop the problem of past deficits.
We have past deficits we owe back on our pension. We have to owe money there, so we're looking at $900,000. So we're borrowing enough money to get us on financial footing where we're not moving forward yet paying back, and we're never going to catch up. So that's the intent. Not an easy thing to do. And again, with Pell overlooking us and the ECD, so it's not something that's not taken lightly, and everybody agrees this is the best way forward, or you raise taxes. I don't think anybody wanted to do that.
A new ordinance regarding the setting of permit fees for cutting, opening, or excavating within the cartways of the public highways within the city of Hazleton also passed its first reading. Perry thinks that the mayor would want to look into increasing those fees to make sure that the job is being done. Perry was also one of the few council members who voted no on amending an ordinance establishing the Geographic Information System documentation fees to record certain permits.
We voted for that earlier for $5, and I think it's a little too soon to throw that on. Handicapped people are saying, hey, we're paying $5, now you're going to make it $15, not months later. So I think we could revisit that if we need to, or maybe just eliminate the handicap and maybe on other permits. So I think we can revisit that.
A hearing took place before council's regular meeting, which allowed people to comment on the grant money available. 6 items were on the table, ranging from software to hiring a person to administer things and help out Dan Lynch, as well as infrastructure, which Perry said is the city's biggest problem.
Things not working, can't store things on computers, and so that would happen at 5. All they took hearings, took comment, and I think in the future then they will bring back the comments and answer the questions and hopefully grant us that money, which is sorely needed. And Pell had it in a report that we needed to do something about our technology infrastructure. So the people had some good things to say, and hopefully we can all work together.
Council's next public meeting will take place Wednesday, December 14th at 6 p.m. Reporting from Hazleton for WYLN News, I'm Julia Wiegand.
Coming up on WYLN News, a bumpy road in Schuylkill County is getting repaired. But first, here's a look at our 7-day forecast. For the overnight, it's going to be chilly with an overnight low probably around freezing. Then for tomorrow, some rain, and look at that, down into the 20s over the weekend overnight. Stay with us.
Physical Therapy and Balance Centers. It's spelled different because we are different. Physical is unlike any therapy center you've been to before. If you're tired of living in pain, if you want to move better, overcome an injury or balance disorder, or you just want to improve your strength and conditioning, our highly skilled team of medical experts will help you get back to living the life you enjoy. New mentality, new body, new life. Get physical.
Chur's Auto Sales has been serving the area with quality vehicles since 1954. Chur's Auto Sales is known as your friendly dealer and now in their 4th generation and voted the best used car dealer by the readers of Standard Speaker Choice Awards. John Chur would like to thank everyone that voted for his business. When you need a quality pre-owned vehicle, choose from a large selection at Chur's 570-454-7229.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
Today, PennDOT paving crews fixed one section of a very bumpy road in Schuylkill County. North Kennedy Drive in McAdoo from Blaine and Jackson Street repaved today. PennDOT started working on the road early this morning. Crews are only paving the driving lanes of the road since Route 309 will be reconstructed next year. This part of Kennedy Drive was one of the worst sections of Kennedy Drive in McAdoo Borough. And staying there on the south side, crews in Klein Township are also paving some township streets. Thanks to a grant, Klein Township paved a number of streets, including Carl Street here in McAdoo Heights. Carl Street from Bayview to South Tamaqua Street was paved today. Other streets being paved include North, Oak, Snyder, South Tamaqua, and parts of South Hancock Street, Silverbrook, and Haddock Roads. The grant was for just over $23,000. A Wilkes-Barre area school board seat is up for grabs after board member Dino Galella resigned back on October 29th. The 65-year-old was elected to a 4-year term in November of 2015. He resigned from the school board because he no longer lives in the district. Wilkes-Barre area school district residents can apply for the vacancy up until 4 p.m. on Tuesday, November 13th. The school board can then vote to choose someone to replace Galella and serve on the board for a year. Anyone who is interested in applying can submit a letter of intent and resume to Superintendent Brian Costello by that Tuesday deadline. The superintendent of Crestwood School District remains on paid leave following an incident last month that involved clearances for some school bus drivers. Superintendent Joseph Gorham was put on leave after a mishap in paperwork for the drivers caused students to miss 2 days of classes. Joseph Rasmus became the acting superintendent October 30th. The school board conducted an executive session on Tuesday before the public meeting. Board President Bill Jones said that an investigation is continuing and there's no word at this time as to whether further actions might be taken against administrators. The next Crestwood Area School District meeting is set for November 15th at 6:30 p.m. The Wilkes-Barre City Administrator is leaving his current position to take on one with Luzerne County. Ted Wampole will be leaving his job as City Administrator, filling the spot as Executive Director of the Convention and Visitors Bureau. The head of the Bureau, Janet Hall, is retiring at the end of the year, and the county wanted to find her replacement so that Hall could work with her predecessor before she retires. Wampole has been working with the George administration since 2016 after he retired from the insurance industry. Coming up on Weatherly's News Choice, keeping your pet healthy in community and you with Hillside SPCA, plus getting your questions answered on Real ID. As we head out to break, let's take a look at the midday winning lotto numbers. Good luck.
appliances are right over there, and this is part of our furniture department.
Okay, but I'm looking for a mattress.
Well, you've come to the right place. Grand Central is Northeast Pennsylvania's #1 Sealy mattress dealer. We have Sealy mattress sets from only $199 and Stearns & Foster queen sets from only $45 per month. We also have interest-free financing up to 60 months. And remember, delivery and takeaway are absolutely free.
So we don't have to do anything?
Not if you buy your Sealy mattress at Grand Central.
It looks like I did find the right place to buy a Sealy mattress.
Grand Central in Hazleton, the right place to buy a Sealy mattress.
It's okay that everybody ignores me when I drive. It's fine, because I get a safe driving bonus check every 6 months I'm accident-free. Because I don't use my cell phone when I'm driving, even though my family does and leaves me all alone. Here's something else. I don't share it with Mom. Right, Mom? I have a brand new putter you don't even know about. It's awesome.
Safe driving bonus checks only from Allstate. Switching to Allstate is worth it.
Visit your local Allstate agent, the McNeilis Agency in Hazleton at 1092 North Church Street, or in Hometown in the Hometown Village Square.
You've seen university advertising. A student like me pitching you the same old ideas. But I'm not gonna do that.
Instead, I'm gonna tell you what you can do with a Penn State degree. You can help anyone. Go anywhere. Create! And with 20 campuses to choose from, you'll always feel at home.
Look, Penn State is amazing, but your best years are just beginning.
Come find out for yourself.
When you get an animal or bring an animal into your home, in addition to loving, caring, and feeding for it in the home, there is the medical side of that. You know, every one of us needs a medical exam. Every one of us needs medical checkups. Sometimes we need medicine. It's really important to have your animals evaluated and checked out by a veterinarian at least once a year. You know, if they're young and healthy, you might be able to go 2 years, but it's always best to speak with your veterinarian about what their recommendations are. Vaccinating your animals is something that should be discussed with your veterinarian, and what you choose to vaccinate should be, again, discussed with your veterinarian. But it's really important, specifically for young animals, to have the first series of vaccinations so their immunity is built up at that point. It also takes less risk away from your animal getting infected by someone because they are vaccinated. Rabies is the law for dogs. You absolutely must have a rabies shot unless your veterinarian has given you a reason and a note saying that for whatever reason they choose that you do not have to get a rabies shot. And some veterinarians do that specifically for ill dogs or older dogs. But the law states that you must have a valid rabies shot on your dog and your domesticated cat as well. People sometimes think that because their cats are indoors that they don't have to do that. Well, they do, because here's the scenario. If your cat bites someone, that becomes an issue. If your dog bites someone and does not have updated rabies shot, that becomes an issue as well. So in order to avoid the issue for you yourself and for the animals, you want to make sure that your vaccinations are up to date, particularly rabies. Whatever your veterinarian has recommended, again, you have to have a conversation with a licensed veterinarian. Shot clinics are great, but you still need to check in with a veterinarian. Have a vet check over your dog, cat, rabbit, reptile, whatever, to make sure that all systems are going well. All dogs need to be licensed. And you can do that through your county courthouse, or if you're adopting an animal through the shelter, a lot of times they can provide you with the license. Lifetime licenses are a huge value because you buy it one time, you get the microchip, and they're good for a lifetime. And again, that's also registered through your county courthouse. But licensing is another, and microchipping too, are two ways that should your pet get lost, that they will be able to track that dog back to you, or and they do microchip cats as well, that the animal would come back to you safely. That is your proof. So if you lose your dog and your dog doesn't have a license on and or a microchip, then you've got to show some other form of proof that the dog is yours. And a picture is not always proof. Shot records are proof, veterinary records are proof. But again, licensing, the license comes right back to you. Anybody who finds your dog can go right into the system. A shelter or a veterinarian's office can scan your dog for a microchip, and all the information can come back to you, and you can get your dog back quicker by following through with all of those helpful hints.
Northeast Pennsylvania. Scenic beauty, close-knit communities. We're neighbors helping neighbors. Lehigh Valley Health Network is bringing you leading-edge cancer treatment that's close to home. Robotic surgery for quicker recoveries. World-class heart care and access to top specialists. All from Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton and our 15 community locations. Neighbors caring for Greater Hazleton and beyond. Lehigh Valley Health Network.
This autumn, you can fall into savings at All-American Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Get fabulous fall savings during the Jeep Adventure Days. Returning lessees can lease a new Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited for just $299 a month, or lease a new Jeep Cherokee Latitude Plus 4x4 for just $189, and get 0% financing on select models. Whatever adventure you enjoy, we can get you there in a Jeep at All-American Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, or online at allamericanjeep.net.
Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about visiting a restaurant that has a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we'll be featuring on our show, Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. Jeff Bonomo and his co-host, Alan Giannetti, welcome you into the world of craft beer, great wine, and good food. Wine, Hops, and Road Stops.
Pennsylvania's newly elected lieutenant governor says he does not plan to move into the lavish state-owned official residence and hopes to make it available for some type of public use. Democrat John Fetterman said he may rent a place in Harrisburg, but he's definitely not moving his family into the residence at Fort Indiantown Gap. Fetterman beat incumbent Lieutenant Governor Mike Stack, a former state senator, in the primary this year to become Governor Wolf's running mate. Looking for answers about Real ID? A Real ID mobile verification unit event is underway this evening at the WilkesBarre Scranton International Airport. The Real ID pop-up will give you the opportunity to get your documents marked Real ID eligible, so when they do become available in March, you'll be all set and ready to go. Tonight's event is until 8 o'clock, and there are two others scheduled, one in December and another in January. That's the news. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next here on WYLN TV.
Whitetail Preserve and Event Center, Thanksgiving takeout menu. Relax. We'll do the cooking for you. You can pick it up on Thanksgiving between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. Orders must be placed by November 18th at 2 p.m. Call 570-535-6123. This traditional meal offer is for 10 people, just $110 plus tax.
WYLN CA35's children's programming is designed with the specific purpose of serving the educational and informational needs of children. In compliance with FCC guidelines, a copy of the children's programming report is on file for public inspection at WYLN, 1057 East 10th Street, Hazleton, PA, during normal business hours, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday.
What would you do with $25,000 right before the holidays? Blaze Alexander of Greater Hazleton is going to give you the opportunity to figure that out. Stop in, take a test drive, register to win, crack the code, and you could be walking away with $25,000. We have over 300 Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Cadillac, Buick, GMC, Mazdas in stock, ready for immediate delivery with rebates and discounts up to $10,000, and over 200 pre-owned vehicles ready for immediate delivery. And don't forget our $1,000 low price guarantee. Blaze Alexander of Greater Hazleton is taking the deals the other guys won't.
watching Wilkes-Barre's Choice for news, weather, and live local sports. WYLN, we're your local network.